Hairwork, or jewelry made of human hair, has appeared throughout the history of craftwork. Hair has often played a part in myths and legends. In a Swedish book of proverbs one can read that rings and bracelets of hair increase love. In Denmark at Rosensborg's palace there is a bracelet of precious metal with a simple braided lock of hair, a gift from King Christian IV to his queen. During the following century, memorial hair jewelry remained common. For example, rings commemorating the execution of King Charles I of England circulated among his faithful supporters. Other famous people who owned hair jewelry include Napoleon, Admiral Nelson, Queen Victoria and her large family, Christina Nielsen and Jenny Lind. Victorian period. The continued popularity of jewelry crafted with human hair can be attributed to several causes. Practically unlike many other natural materials, human hair does not decay with the passing of time. Hair has chemical qualities that cause it to last for hundreds, possibly thousands, of years. Additionally, by the 19th century many hair artists and wig makers had too little employment after the powdered wigs, often worn by noblemen of the 17th and 18th centuries, went out of fashion. The period of sentimentality characteristic of the Victorian era offered these craftsmen a new opportunity to earn their income working with hair. Early hair jewelry was usually made in cooperation with goldsmiths, producing beautiful and expensive creations of hair mounted in gold and often decorated with pearls or precious stones. Pieces constructed with precious materials by artisans were naturally very expensive. Workshops where these fashionable items were made existed across Europe. Buyers of human hair traveled the countryside and purchased hair from poor peasants, sometimes in exchange for a scarf, ribbon or other small luxury object. In addition to the needs for hair jewelry, there was still a need for great amounts of hair for braids and switches that women wanted to purchase for the coiffeurs. Most hair jewelry, however, was made from a person of special interests' hair, whether that was a famous figure or a family member or friend. In contrast to the expensive pieces of hair jewelry crafted by artisans, many women of the 19th century began crafting their own hair work in their homes. In America, popular magazines of the period, like Godey's Lady's Book, printed patterns and offered starter kits with the necessary tools for sale. Book of the period, like Mark Campbell's Self-Instructor in the Art of Hair Work, offered full volumes devoted to hair work and other fancy work, as predominantly female crafts were known at the time. In Europe, various groups of women also took up the craft in their homes. The women of Mora, Sweden, became experienced in hairwork and made it possible for groups other than the very wealthy to afford hair jewelry. They had no money to buy expensive findings, so they mounted the jewelry with wooden beads that they cleverly covered over with hair. Another reason for the construction of hair jewelry in the home was a lack of trust in commercial manufacturers. The concern was that the hair used in the jewelry would not be the hair that had been given to the jeweler, having been substituted with other hair. Modern period. Though hairwork had gone out of fashion more than a half-century earlier around Europe, the people of Vamis began to realize what a treasure the knowledge of the trade was. The local historical society introduced classes in hair work and new generations of women learned the art. In Vamis, hair art has been done continuously for almost 200 years. In 1994 the Hairworkers Society was founded by the most active hair workers. Together they have done many shows, exhibits and projects. Similarly, the Victorian Hairwork Society also offers a space for members to share their art, identify historical pieces, and request work to be crafted online.